What's up, y'all? Of course, I'm still putting on my stuff. I have not done an order in the court in a long time, y'all. Anyways, because I recorded so many videos in the past. Y'all, it's time. We're gonna start going live. We gotta see what's up. We didn't put Trump back in the White House. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we're not really concerned about a struggle. Okay? We're not concerned about a struggle. Because most of us are competitors, and when you're a competitor, you already know what time it is. Hello? Say amen. Gavel bang on the amen. Okay? Amen to the gods with the little G. Gavel bang. Without further ado, y'all, you already know what time it is. So I'm doing Order in the Court. It's going to be live. You already know how this works. You email my office, booker@bookerlawfirm.com. In the subject heading, you put order in the court. You don't have to put it like that. Just put order in the court. That's good. And then we will route this, and we're going to start going live at least probably 2 to 3 times a week. And we're also going to have our shows that we put on probably once a day on all the networks. Okay, you have to bear with me because this social media is some new-ish, and we're used to being in court and doing things a different way. But now everything has changed. Everything's going online. You know what they say about that world order that seems to be new. So we got to branch out and open up and widen our audience to more than just those that are around us. So we got to get used to using all this streaming software and live and all that other stuff that I ain't used to. Amen. All right. Okay. So without further ado, let's get it crack-a-lacking. Once you give me your question, I'm going to do the best that I can. You cannot look at this as legal advice because this may or may not apply directly to you and your case or your issue, but I'm going to do the best that I can with what I'm getting, because at the end of the day, that's what I do. I'm one of those type of attorneys whereby I'm going to be very critical, but I'm straight and to the point. I'm a litigator. In this industry, I'm what we call a young litigator because I only have 15 years in. 15 years in doesn't mean ish when you are sitting next to people that normally have 30 years of experience. However, I'm a heavy litigator, so I've learned a lot in a short amount of time. Okay, so I'm going to take what I've learned, okay, being a litigator and being on both sides of things, because I do handle both sides. I prosecute and I defend, but I do not prosecute on the criminal side. Amen, amen. I only defend. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you from both standpoints. I'm going to also tell you from my standpoint, I am a conservative Black female, if you can't tell. I know some of you say I look like a man, but okay, whatever. I'm a female, y'all, so I'm going to tell you from my perspective. A lot of the times when I say things, don't take it as being disrespectful, y'all. I'm just straight up kind of using the thought process that we use in court. Because a lot of the times people say stuff and we all talk, you know what I mean? As lawyers, as judges, as whatever. And we have our thought process on what comes through the courtroom. So here you go. Want to hear? Here you go. First one up. Order in the court, first case. Okay. How long does it take for them to clear your record when you get off probation with adjudication? We're going to say amen to adjudication, because that is the proper terminology, and I'm tired of people saying adjudication. I don't know where the F came in. It is effing abnormal, an effing S, an effing ish to be on probation, but there's no F in there, okay? But probation is effed up, okay? But don't add the F. It's deferred adjudication. Adjudicate. 2, adjudicate 1, okay? So deferred adjudication, meaning deferring, not adjudicating or sentencing the individual. I'm going to wait and see if this person does good, and if they don't do good, then I'll sentence them. And if they do perform well, I'm not going to sentence that person. That's deferred adjudication. Pretty much in all states, what happens is you avoid a conviction. When you avoid a conviction, you can clean off your record, y'all. And there are different ways you could clean it. Some people clean their record after they beat the case. They beat the case. And then they qualify for what is called an expunction. Expunctions are usually automatic, but sometimes they're not, depending on how you got that dismissal. Sometimes as a part of a plea deal, you will agree to forego cleaning your record for some amount of time in exchange for that dismissal. You wait the short amount of time that is, and then you can move. Other than that, you beat the case outright, you qualify for an expunction, and it's going to wipe off all your records. When you are handled, we call it handled, okay? And I want y'all to pay attention, because y'all know I'm a spiritual individual. I do run things spiritually on this channel, but it all interlinks, it all intertwines. I want you to understand that everything that you see going on with Diddy, Young Thug, all this other mess, spirituality, politics, all of this ish links. You're going to see the same terminology used. It all comes from the same places. That's the way it goes. Okay? Terminology we're using is handling. Handling. I know you have heard that before. Handlers, handled. If you have been a handled individual and they've handled you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, then you're going to get one record. Okay? Because anytime you come into contact with the police, law enforcement, or otherwise, even if it's on a bum case and you get it dismissed, you have a charging record because you have been charged with something. You have two, an arrest record because they done handled you. They done arrested you. They handled your ass. Excuse me. We're live. We can't do that, Allie. They handled you. Okay? Handled. So that's the second record. So you got one if you're charged, one if you're handled. Some people are handled and never charged. They let you go. But that handling record stays. Okay? There are different records, y'all. One, first record, you done arrested me. I was not free to go. You've arrested me. Second record, charge record. Third record, conviction record. You have three. When you have beat a case, beat that case. We're not talking about deferred adjudication yet. I'm talking about an outright beat that ish. When you beat that case, you can get all three wiped off. The charge record, the arrest record, and there is no conviction record to wipe. It'll go away automatically by operation of law because you are essentially not convicted because you beat it. All records are wiped clean. Whenever you go on deferred adjudication and it's probation, you have the same three records, y'all. You're going to be arrested, clearly, because you're on deferred. You were charged, clearly, because you're on deferred. You were convicted, but what they did was they said they were going to avoid the conviction. So deferred adjudication is always something good to take if you can get through it, because it results in it results in you not being convicted for the crime. You're not convicted, but you're punished in a way. And if you're good for that amount of time, which is what this person was, you'll successfully complete probation. Now you have to look at the law in your state. And most of the time here in Texas, misdemeanors are about 3 years. Felonies, anywhere they start at 5. And you're going to look on this list and you're going to see how long you have to wait in order to get this expunction. And if you've waited the requisite amount of time, you're going to move. Okay? Move. Okay? Move. What we do in our homes, we get up and we move. In court, you make a motion. I'm motioning, or you move. Same thing when we're doing laws. Legislative branch, politics, move or motion. Okay? So then you move to get it off your record. So this person says they were accused of saying that they were going to harm somebody with deadly weapons. They had no evidence or weapon. So they took 3 years of probation. I'm going to start off by saying this. If somebody has no evidence against you and no weapon, you probably don't want to sign for stuff you're not guilty of. Okay? Because there are always going to be potential consequences of you signing for stuff, especially up in this time up. This where we at. Okay, especially here and now. It's going to happen. It is what it is. So there are consequences. Be careful of pleading the stuff that you didn't do. And I always tell my clients, if you didn't do it, then you're not pleading around me, because I'm not going to allow you to plead, because I can't allow you to plead to a crime that you didn't commit. I'm forcing you, right? And if you didn't commit it, we're not pleading. Okay? So don't ever start off by, and especially when you're doing your plea in court, you guys wonder why the judge sends you back and says they're not going to take your plea. And you're like, what's going on? Because you can't say that you didn't do it. You got to admit to it if you're going to plead. That's a part of it. Okay. But anyways, this person said because they were pregnant and tired of going back and forth, they thought that they could stand in trial because they had preeclampsia, but they could barely walk and they were offset for long periods of time. This sounds very real. And I believe, that this probably could have occurred. Okay. This person's been off deferred adjudication. It seems as if it was a felony because deadly weapons are involved. And I'm going to say from the date that the person was let off of probation, 5-year hold, but they need to go check their crime because they didn't give me a crime. I'm going to assume it's going to be a 5-year from the date that they were discharged, not from the date that they got the offense from the date of discharge. So if you got the offense January 1st of 2022, you pled after fighting January the 1st of 2023, and you were on papers for 3 years till January the 1st of 2026, you will not be able to apply until January the 1st of 2011. Makes sense. You got to wait your 5 years from the date that you're discharged from probation to move for that. Okay. So, that's the answer to this question. Okay. What you need to do is you got to wait the requisite amount of time, and y'all, 5 years is a long time. And the thought process behind it is if you was doing the right thing and we gave you this deferred adjudication to give you another chance, as long as you have not gotten in trouble again, we will give you that chance. Next case. All right. So what I'm going to do is shut this live down. I just want to make sure everything's going through. I'll jump back on later. I'm new to the streaming shit, and I got some work to do. New to the streaming stuff, and I have some work to do. But we'll go through. Looks like somebody got their hair burnt off by a stylist or something happened to it. Looks like there's some child support issues. And you know what happens when you have the child, but the other person has child support against you. Looks like there's a 17-year-old that wants to talk to an 18-year-old, and they want to know, can the 18-year-old get in trouble? Looks like somebody ran off with somebody's child, keeping them away for over a year, won't let them see him. What can the person do? Look like we're dealing with some subpoenas. Subpoena power. Okay, subpoena power within a case. When do subpoenas, when can you drop a subpoena on somebody's head and request documentation against another party, and when you can't? And then also, what do we do after a divorce and somebody won't give me the stuff that the judge said I was supposed to have? And lastly, we are going to talk about, looks like somebody's ex's attorney, they say, submitted a legally signed letter by the child without ever meeting the child or speaking to the child, saying that the child wanted to live with the other parent, which happens a lot. All right, so we're going to discuss those things when we come back. All right. Love y'all a lot. See you later. Y'all already know what time it is. It's your favorite attorney signing out. Until later. Was in the court. Bye-bye.